Now then, I'd like to show you something. What I want to show you is this. Now it looks like I printed this in white and this in black, so a two-colour print. But it isn't. It's actually a kind of transfer. So I will be doing a video when I've neatened this up because this is still early days. There's two actual reasons. One, if I haven't got it quite right. And two, this isn't basically my idea. The basic idea is from a friend of mine called Ross, who runs a channel called Intelligent Tinkering. And I'll pop a link into his channel in the description of this video. And he came up with the idea and we've been working on it together, and this is my development of his idea. So we're going to do separate videos, one on Ross's channel, one on my channel, where we talk about the techniques. But the idea is Ross's, and it's an awesome idea because I can see the use of this. This piece of material is actually 0.6 millimeters thick, so it's basically 3 layers. Now, one of the key things about filament printing, of course, is the state of the first layer. Has it been put down nicely? Does it adhere to the bed? Because normally, if the first layer goes well, the rest of the print is going to go well. And of course, we've got this new Elegoo Centauri to check out, and I like that to be 1 layer thick, because I'm thinking this is a kind of lithophane without the mucking about, and if we shine something behind it, we should be able to get some very nice effects out of something as simple as that. So that's where I'm going with it, but in this video, we're going to look at how the Centauri carbon performs, particularly in this 1 layer challenge. So let's get on with it. So I want to have a see at what they sound like. So I'm going to print one and then print the other, and we'll compare the sound. And I put the microphone right there in between the two machines, so hopefully it'll pick up the same sound level. But let's get a print running. Okay, there it is printing away. Let's open the door for a second. You get an idea really about the level of noise. And this is the bamboo printing. I've turned off the Elegoo so that there's no noise interference, and that's the kind of noise level. And with the door open. Okay, that's the print complete in 9 minutes and 54 seconds. Okay, and that's the bamboo complete. It took 17 minutes. Let's have a look. That's the result on the bamboo, hot off the press. And that's the result from the Elegoo. Now while they're lying there, they look fairly similar, so let's get them off and have a look at them in the light. So here's the bamboo with some light behind it, so you get an idea of what it's like. And here is the Elegoo. Not a lot to choose between them really. Now even though this is a single layer print, it's actually surprisingly tough. So here is that transfer technique done on a single layer on the Elegoo, and I have to say, it's worked out really well. I mean, it's a bit weird to be creating 2D images with a 3D printer, but I can certainly see the use case for it. Now with this, of course, as I said, this is still in its experimental phase. There's a few technical details to work out, and when we've done that, we'll be releasing videos. I'll be releasing videos on how I did that, and Ross, as I say, whose base idea it is, will be doing more on what you can actually do with it. It's just that me and him are working together a little bit on it to work out a few of the bits and pieces, but extraordinarily awesome. Now, in terms of the battle royale between bamboo and Elegoo, then I would say that the Elegoo is a little bit more noisy, but certainly it was faster, and the results are pretty indistinguishable. Now, I think one of the big reasons it was faster was that the setup time, the print setup time for the bamboo was extraordinarily long. It's about 34% of the print time was taken up just by doing the setup. And there might be the argument, I suppose, that Elegoo skips a few things, but if we take a look at the technical details on the machine, I think it might explain why it was so much faster. Now, a quick glance at the specifications of the machine read pretty much as you'd expect, and it gives you a good idea of how the machine's going to perform in terms of speed and temperatures and the kind of materials that it can actually manage. And it can manage a broad range of materials from PLA, TPU and carbon fibre filled. Now, an interesting little thing they've done is put the capacitive touchscreen at the bottom of the machine. These things usually sit on a desk, and it's kind of handy just to reach over and use that control panel rather than have to stand up or reach up. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a decibel meter, but if we look at this, we can see that there's an idea of what kind of sound levels you would expect, ranging from sort of 50 decibels for a silent drive to 80 decibels on a street with conversation and hubbub. So, not great noise levels, really, when you think about it, but I haven't been able to measure it, and it's without a doubt that the noise arises mostly from the fans. The fans that Elegoo have chosen to put in are high-speed control fans to help control the printing chamber so it can manage different filaments, the height-end cooling rate, of course, and air filtration. But the speed itself is probably going to be down to things like how quickly it can heat up, how quickly it can do its pre-tests before it actually starts printing, as well as things like extruder rates and flow rates. The powerful heaters Elegoo have included really get it there quickly. And of course a lot of that information came from Elegoo materials, but our little test has shown that actually it lives up to some of that stuff. I mean, it was really very quick, and if you feel this, it's beautiful, hey? It's got a nice smooth flat face where it was touching the PEI sheet, and you can feel a few little ribs on the side that was laying down, but the impressive thing is, if I pull it that way, and this has been laid concentrically, so it's going around like that, if I pull it that way, then there's no separation between the beads of filament that have been laid down. That's actually really quite awesome, and of course when we did our test print with our transfer, it came out beautifully. I love that. I think it's just awesome. I get interested in all kinds of things, hey? And one of the things I'm interested in at the moment, believe it or not, are knitting machines. So I went and ordered this. It's a latch hook needle, which is the heart of a knitting machine. This pushes up and down, and there's a little flap there that opens and closes as it goes through. But I was thinking, wouldn't it be great to actually make a latch hook out of 3D printing without using the steel ones? And that's exactly what I did. So there's a latch hook that I designed in Tinkercad, and it's printed in PLA. One thing to notice is how delicate it is. I mean, this is PLA, so it's not going to last in use. It's just an exercise in design. What I thought I'd do is I thought I'd take my PLA latch hook and print it in this stuff. This is PETG carbon fibre, so I'm kind of expecting it to be very much tougher, and that's what I'm interested in. So I thought I'd give this a go on the Elegoo, since the Elegoo is supposed to handle carbon fibre. We'll get a print of a latch hook out and see what it's actually like. Now, this may or may not be a video in the future, I've no idea. I just get interested in things and then give it a go to see if I can do it and see what happens, and if it's a success, I'll do a video. If it's a failure, you'll never see it again. So I'm sort of lifting the curtain a little bit to print this out, but let's do that in carbon fibre. To load this, go to the settings screen, which is that button there, go to extruder, which is right there, and I raise the nozzle temperature to 260 for this filament, and then feed the filament as per normal. Don't forget to use the correct side of the sheet. This one here is a PLA TPU ABS PETG carbon fibre. This one is optimised for PLA, so put the right side in. And then press print. Okay, that's done. Let's get it out. That's very cool. So there's the needle and there's the latch. Now at this point, I don't know if it's any stronger or not than PLA, but the main point is that it's a beautiful print. It's handled the delicate carbon fibre print really, really well. So these are just test prints for me, but I printed it that way because I didn't want there to be any infill in that needle section. I didn't want to have the trouble of cleaning it out, and it does worry me slightly in that there's a grain in that direction, and this is where it gets most of its pushing from, of course. So I might redesign that so we put a hole in it and this becomes a peg. So when we print it without the grain, it'll print in that direction and we can glue that in. So I'm not sure, and that's not a finished piece of work, but once I get this right, all I have to do is print 150 or 200 of them. Why not? But the Elegoo seems to have done a really good job. And in terms of setup, I really didn't do anything. I just pulled out the generic PETG-CF settings that come with this Elegoo stroke Orca slicer. Sliced it, sent it to print. Now, don't forget, Elegoo sent me this machine so I can have a look at it. I have had good experience with Elegoo products, but when I say something, you have to bear that in mind, obviously. Now, I don't often do machines when I'm actually doing the prints. I tend to focus much more on the print and the model and not so much on what the actual machine is. So these kind of review videos, they should be telling you the machines that I'm using every day, because I don't just do the review and put them away, I use them. So I've been using these machines ever since I did the review of it, and that's true of the bamboo, and I do like the bamboo. But the Elegoo Centauri looks like a compelling alternative to the bamboo, and that's really, I think, the message of the video. It looks really good. I will be using it when I'm, again, focusing on the model. I won't really be mentioning the machine, so if you want to know what machines I'm using when I make these models, then the review videos are a big indication of what machines are actually being used to produce these, and I think this Centauri is going to do some nice work, and I am looking forward to using it in the future. I hope it gave you the information you needed. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching, and please do remember to like and subscribe.